Oh, we're live. How's it going, everybody? Tonight we have a special edition of Tuesday Night Chats on Wednesday. It's like that. It's like the Monday Night Football on Sunday night or whatever bullshit they do. Tonight it's with Lost Ark Distilling and special guest from Hysteria Brewing and Bash Brothers Collective, Ty Kreis. So let's get Matt Dawson and Ty on here, and we'll get this party started. So there you go. There's Matt from Lost Ark.
What's
Here's
going on, everybody?
Ty. We have Ty on here mostly for content.
Yeah, everybody's like making fun of me. That's fine. I can handle that. Whatever.
We're going to talk to Matt a little bit first because this is really about Matt, but because they're basically neighbors in Columbia, they've been doing a lot of Hysteria, Ty, and Lost Ark have been doing a lot of things together, and Ty sort of, we'll say, side project, the Bash Brothers, has been doing stuff with them. So we're going to talk with Matt first. So how's it going, Matt?
Yeah, I couldn't be happier, man. We're doing very well, especially with the holidays coming around. We just launched the new distributor, and they have just blown the socks off of our expectations. Really leading with our creams. This is the time of year to really try creams, and we have two creams. We have our OG, the caramel cream.
That's this
We
one.
partner with Gets Candy. We use their cream, their vanilla, and then yes, sir. And then we add our white rum to it. Last year, we did huge numbers with it just launching in December, and then we decided this year, let's do something else. Let's make something a little not different, but another brand of theirs. And they have a brownie cream that again has done phenomenal. So make sure when you guys are out and about, liquor stores, if they don't have it, ask for it. It'll sell. It's phenomenal. Anyone who's tried it can attest that it absolutely kills it.
Sorry.
So right now I'm in the home studio here, and it's a little cold because it's on the side of the house. So I got a little hot chalky here, and this is my mixed drink for the night. So
Are
don't judge if
you
I.
doing mixed drinks? All right, I'll make one up. I got a limited edition Bash Bros Lost Ark.
This isn't really a mixed drink as much as I'm spiking my hot chocolate.
Yeah, I do just a little bit of ice. Let me see let's find what I'm gonna mix it with. Oh, just
I heard
maybe
that
a little
those
bit
things will hold ice for 24 hours.
I know, right? It'll keep your bourbon a little chilled. Just a little bit of bourbon in there.
I don't know what kind of asshole needs to have their bourbon chilled for 24 hours.
I know, right? So yeah, onto the bourbon. So we this is what our bourbon looks like. Don't mind the bottle; it's kind of a mislabel.
Okay.
It's a 4-year. Before on the shelves you would see it's mostly a wheater before, but now this is a little bit more rye. It's not a rye, but it's a little heavier on the rye. Definitely comes in a better price point on the shelf. And so far, again, our distributor's done phenomenal with it. Local brand, local bourbon. You really can't ask for much more in today's market, and that's been doing great for us. And speaking of that, a little one more bottle. I'm glad Brad let me sneak this out. So we this is a single barrel for our 5th year anniversary.
Okay, when is that?
It's a single barrel.
Okay.
5th year anniversary. So basically, we harvested this barrel the other day, and it is phenomenal. We didn't prove it down at all. It's coming in at, what is it, 118.6. It's great.
I need some.
So, well, we only did 120 bottles of it because I think it was about a 200 bottle yield. We are putting some out in the market. Maybe Rob will get a case. I haven't really told him yet, but yeah, Rob will be getting a case of that probably next week.
So what are you doing the anniversary party this weekend?
Yes, it is. It's Saturday. 12 to we're gonna be open 12 to 10. We got live music. Again, I pre-order this if you want to. We might even sell out before the date even starts, but you can still come down and get our small batch. We have great drinks. Our bartender's phenomenal. Tasting bar. I know Brad's gonna be doing tours, but I believe they're probably already booked.
Okay.
But yeah, we're I've been there for about a year now, and our business on the weekends is absolutely packed. We've done a lot of collabs recently. Obviously, the one with the Bash Brothers that was phenomenal. Me and Ty were both there.
You guys have been busy, right? You did Ty's. What was that? A couple weeks ago, the release of that.
Yeah, we did that in November 20th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did that, and then the weekend after that, we had Craig Laughlin there for Locker 18 Foundation. Phenomenal foundation, and we sold out of those bottles that night. The place was beyond packed. Awesome cause what he does for under-researched cancer. So it was really cool seeing people bidding on things that probably cost $10, but they paid $1,500 for it. And then also that same day, Steve Francis came in from obviously from the Terps, and I think he went to the Rockets for a little while. And more to come on that probably February. So we'll keep you guys posted. But it was pretty cool having Locker in there, and then people were like, "Is that Steve Francis in the back?" And he was supposed to be a little earlier, but he wasn't there exactly on time. So it was definitely a cool collab we did with them. So, and again, as you were saying earlier, the first collab we kicked it off with really was with Bash Bros, but also we've done a lot with Ty. With they've barrel aged some of their beer with our bourbon barrels. They released. I mean, Ty, if you want to talk on that, the pressured into it that you guys our bourbon barrels and then use our spices from our spice rum.
Yeah, so we were like, we got to do something that's really fun. We started using a lot of their barrels. So we're building up a new barrel age program finally. And we're like investing a lot of time and effort into it now. And what better partners to work with than a really good distillery right next door? So we're like, can we get some bourbon barrels from you and some rum barrels and different stuff? So we're like, yeah, let's do it. So then we were like, it'd be really cool if we did a barrel aged pumpkin beer, because we all like barrel aged stuff, and it's a season for pumpkin beer. So we took pressured into it, which is just our 6%, just like straightforward pumpkin beer, like nothing's crazy about it. But we wanted to make it crazy, so we called it even more pressured into it, and went from 6% to 12%. So we completely doubled.
Pulled that much from the barrel?
No, we actually brewed. We doubled the gravity on it. Yeah.
Holy crap!
Well, yeah, it was like 10.5%.
All right,
and then when it went into the barrel, it came out at 12.
How long was it in the barrel?
5 months.
Oh, nice.
5 months in barrel, and then we use our spices that we use for pressured into it, but then we have fortified it with the same spices that they used in their spiced rum, which has a lot of the same kind of flavors. So
it was actually the spices we actually used. It wasn't just like the ones we would use. It was in our rum, and then we literally threw it next door through their dock door.
Exactly.
And they use it. It's phenomenal. It's the best pumpkin beer I ever had, and I was in the beer business for a while. And I mean, I love Lancasters, but this stuff, it drinks like a 6, but
you guys still have that at Hysteria?
We did 110 bottles, and we sold out that weekend.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
It's one of the fastest selling beers we ever did. We had it on draft a little bit longer just because it's on draft. But I mean, I was telling Billy, I think it was my favorite Hysteria beer that we've ever done. Just like all the time and all the effort that went into it, just like between like a Hysteria and Lost Ark, and it tasted amazing. Like I remember trying it and I was like, no effing way. Like, there's no way it's that good. Like I was blown away. I really was. So we're gonna do it again next year, and we're gonna try to do a little bit more. And like our goal is just like to get this thing a little bit bigger every year. So
yeah, because really, you guys, if you had, I don't know if you have time on the schedule, but to brew that beer again and just let it sit, like put it in the barrels and let it sit for a whole year. Mm-hmm. I wonder what it would probably pull more, right? Yes and no. Like when you age a beer inside of a barrel, it really mellows out more than it actually extracts flavor. Right. It's one of those things. Like if you pull it out too soon, you actually get like that the alcohol burn from the bourbon. Right. If you let it sit in there longer, it doesn't really get much flavor, but the flavors develop, and they're not as they're not as crazy on the nose like when you're drinking it like an alcohol burn. We did when we first opened up, we did a barrel aged beer. It's called Grandmother's Milk, and that's our Imperial Milk Stout. And we aged it for a year. Well, we did one barrel of it. Well,
you know what? It got infected.
Oh, really?
That's the risk you take when you let
stuff go longer.
Yeah, it's just more time for your fermentation inside the barrel to die down. And when that dies down, you have more room for all the other bugs to get in there and try to do their thing. So yeah, it tastes like green apples. There's what we could do. We only had one barrel. When I was at Dew Claw, when we did Retribution, it's like 50 barrels. So every now and then we would taste them all, and then there'd be like 1 or 2 barrels we had to dump. But you still have 48 other barrels, so it didn't really matter. If we would have released that beer at 6 months instead of a year, it would have been phenomenal. Because I tried it there, and around the 11th month mark, I was like, it doesn't really taste like it did before. It got thin.
That's interesting, because I was always a little bit under the impression that sometimes letting them sit longer. I guess it depends on the beer style as much as anything, and the ABV of the beer when it goes into it. Then I thought longer would do more flavors, but I can see that where it would like get the possibility for infection is that much more, and you lose a lot. Like we did the vanilla porter we did with Monument last year. We put that in a Buffalo Trace barrel, and we tried it the other day, and the beer was fine, but it was super boozy and lost a lot of the vanilla that was in the porter to begin with. So some of the flavors
is one of those things you wait.
Right.
Like a vanilla has it's like a bell curve almost, where like you get nothing. And if you try to add too much, like you're like, I don't taste anything, and you start adding more, then all of a sudden it's like overwhelming. So it's one of those things that it takes, like you put it in there and you gotta wait. It's like cinnamon too. You gotta put it in there and you have to actually give it time for the flavors to come through. And sometimes it is a day or two, and then it'll be there, and then it'll fade after some point, but then sometimes it comes back with a vengeance, and it's just crazy.
Right, because I thought maybe that it would pull a lot more vanilla out of the barrel. Because usually bourbon stuff pulls stuff out. It's not. It tastes more like vanilla. It's not actually vanilla, obviously, but you get that. Do you get that with the spiced rum, Matt? With the spices when you.
Well, how long would that sit for?
Yeah.
We try to keep it very uniform, and we want our product to be very consistent. So we keep it there for a certain amount of time when we steep it with the spices. We haven't really tried to let it sit longer because we're very happy with the flavor profile that we have, and we're worried that if we let it sit longer, then it could change the flavor profile, and it wouldn't. Like our goal is, I want you to be able to buy, your vanilla rum or your spice rum at Whitey's, and then if you're down the beach, you can go to Gold Coast Mall liquor store and get the same exact flavor profile down there than you can up here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of like a restaurant. Like we want to be consistent with our product. Like hopefully one day when we get, when we expand to other states, we want everyone to be able to have the same experience when they try our products.
Right. So for rums, you guys have the vanilla. There's a hazelnut.
Yep.
There's the hazelnut, spice, dark.
Yep. White rum.
White.
And coconut.
Okay.
Yep. So we have 6 different rums. All of our rums are made from Domino brown sugar. We use 2,000 pounds for every batch. We take that basically 2,000 pounds of sugar and mix it with 1,200 gallons of water, yeast and other nutrients. We let it ferment for 5 days. We have 2 1,500 gallon basically holding tanks at the distillery, and we let that ferment for 5 days. End of the 5 days, you pretty much have a 10%. I would say kind of like a cider. It won't make you sick. It doesn't taste the best, but that's probably the closest I can get to. And we take that. We take it over to our 600 gallon still. So we had to do it twice, obviously, because 1,200 can't fit in the 600. So we distill that twice. That's 1,200 gallons, then goes to 300 gallons. We take that 300 gallons to our 300 gallon still and distill it again. And our finished product is 65 gallons of 180 proof rum. Ty, you've had the 180 proof, haven't you?
Yeah, it's delicious.
It is. I mean, for being 180
proof,
it
is. Yeah.
It's very. It's not easy to drink. It's gonna burn, but it still has a really good flavor to it.
Yeah, but that's something you would drink over ice, which would bring a lot of the flavor out, and it's just a sipping rum anyway.
Yeah, but we don't even
really mix it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even sell the 180 proof rum. We don't sell it as 180 proof because from there we prove it down to 100, and we'll store it at we hold it at 100 proof, and then from there we'll either With our white rum, we add a little bit of white sugar to it. With our spice rum, we steep it with some baking spices, allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon. And then with our coconut rum, we use actual coconut shavings and then prove it down with coconut water. With our coffee hazelnut, we steep it with hazelnuts, and then we proof that down with a 6-12 cold brew from a local coffee house in Savage, Maryland.
Nice.
Our dark rum, we age it on American oak and add a little bit of caramel at the end. And then our vanilla rum, we use 4 or 5 different vanilla flavorings just to get that flavor profile. All very different tasting, but all you can drink straight up.
Nice.
On the rocks, straight up, meet anything. I had one of my new reps from our new distributor come in about a month and a half ago, and he's like, I'm not really a rum guy. And then he tried it. He's like, I'm a rum guy now. And that's how I was too. I mean, I've always been a beer drinker, from selling beer for so many years. And then, when I came, I was talking to Brad about jumping on board. He's like, hey, you should try our lineup. I'm like, I'll try a couple. I'm not a big rum fan.
Right.
I'm all about selling it. And then now I'm like, holy shit, like this stuff is phenomenal. And anyone who tries it, will tell you that it's definitely, they don't expect it to taste as good as it does, especially for how hot, because so we have our dark rum, our spice rum, and our white rum are all 80 proof, and all of our flavored rums are 60 proof. So still decent high octane, but very easy to drink. And then you bring our creams in at 30 proof. Again, easy to drink, very good.
Are you guys doing a lot? Are you guys doing a lot of mixed drinks with the rums and the creams?
I mean, our sales in our in-house are through the roof. We're killing it. I mean, I was there for the Bash Bros collaboration, and I was there for the it was absolutely nuts. And like Brad actually let me bartend, which was, I mean, I guess it was okay, but I mean, we were killing it. So, and then I was there. I mean, and then for the Craig Laughlin thing, I was just helping out, wherever they needed hands. And I mean, we had a line out the door, not only to buy the Craig Laughlin bourbon, but also to have drinks. And it's cool because we were both events, we were bringing in a different demographic of people. Like Ty brought in a bunch of people that had probably never been there before, or mostly beer drinkers, and trying to expand
palettes.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing, like we had a lot of people that maybe never, heard of Bash Bros or never tried any of their stuff. And now they're probably going to start looking at Bash Bros on Instagram or Facebook and kind of see where they're going next and what the next collaboration is. Speaking of collaborations, Ty, I tried the hot sauce the other day. Phenomenal.
You like it?
Oh my, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm like me, not to change the subject or anything, but I'm normally like just an Old Bay on my wings and that's it. Not anymore.
Yeah, that
Dude,
hot sauce is legit. Like,
I appreciate it.
Hi, just talk a little bit about the Bash Brothers things. It's you and Josh Simmons from Moe's. How did that start? I know you guys are good friends. Is that how that started?
Yeah, like me and him just wanted to do something. We are both we're like the two people that everybody always thought were brothers and went out and like to places. I guess like we just have like really approachable and like outgoing personalities. We both had beards, and everybody always thought we were brothers just because of that. So we were just like, it'd be really cool if we just started like a merch company and did just like beer merch, because that's really what we really started with, just like beer merch. And we're like, yeah, it'd be cool and like work with our friends in the industry and have like different kinds of like beer t-shirts and do collabs and stuff like that. And that's how it started. We just wanted to do that, and then it started to evolve because we realized that we had like really. It wasn't just beer that we liked. Like there's other things that we like, and like I really like bourbon, and so that's where we were like, let's do a fun collab with a Lost Ark for bourbon. And then Josh is really in the coffee, so we have a collab coming out with a wee bean that's out in a La Plata really soon. They're doing a barrel aged cold brew with us. So
nice.
Yeah,
what's the barrels?
It's different things that. He's getting some Heaven Hill stuff, I think. Just like it's the stuff that we usually use, like at like Dewclaw and stuff. Right. And then like we it like started morphing from there because it was just things that we just really enjoyed, and we just wanted to share our love and passion for not only drinking but like outdoors and sports, because that's what we're really into. So we had changed the name to a Bash Bros Collective because we wanted to like showcase things that we were into and not just a pint glass at a brewery. So there's there's a lot of really cool things coming out. Like the hot sauce is one of the things that we like launched with.
Now that was with Broho, right?
Broho is manufacturing that
Okay.
for us. That is, it's 100% our. It's my recipe that I make at home all the time.
Okay.
And then we went to them and said, "Hey, we want to do a sauce," and they're like, "We are 100% down. We'll just make the sauce for you." So we did it, and now we have some places, some grocery chains have already reached out to us. So we are working on a lot of different things on how to make enough of it because we have meetings coming up. Some really crazy big things are happening that I can't really talk a lot about just because the things are in like contract kind of works. But
Right.
expect to see changes, announcements in the next couple weeks.
So
Big announcements.
So people should be following you guys on Instagram and Facebook and all the normal social platforms.
Yeah, like when some of these announcements happen, I think people who know us or know of me and Josh are gonna be kind of like, is that seriously what's going on? Like it's kind of a big deal kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look for that.
I'm not
look for that Bash Brothers Brew House chain coming to a town near you, right? You're gonna be like the next Lone Star Steakhouse.
I mean,
Lone Star Steak and Wings. Bash Bros Collective Steak and Wings.
You might not be too far off, Rob.
Really? That was a total shot in the dark.
I'm just playing.
Hey,
maybe.
Ty, remember who gave you that guy's number, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have some people that are interested in your ideas. You never know. So
you never know, right? You
never know.
So the bourbon you guys did with Lost Ark?
Mm-hmm.
Where was that? That was sourced, right? Like you guys don't have. I mean, bourbon takes a long ass time to make.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. So we do cultivate, and it's a very common thing. A lot of the big distilleries do it as well. And that being said, if you take all this time and money and put it into a barrel and have to wait 3 or 4 years and hope it tastes good, and you don't ever know if it's actually gonna taste good or not. So we've had some MGP stuff. That's kind of our older stuff, but we actually are now carrying Sagamore.
Okay.
They're known for their rye, but they have a phenomenal bourbon.
Was that where the Bash Brothers one was from? What
correct.
barrel was that?
So they did it. So we did a special blend for them. And
nice.
Yeah. So you'll see a lot of all of our we keep it very uniform. So all of our main labels, I should be Vanna White. Our main labels will look like this. It's the strip across the front that'll change from. So that's single barrel 5th year anniversary.
Right.
Ty has our the Bash Bro collab. Here is our small batch.
Okay.
And let me get the Locker 18. I stole a bottle of Locker 18. Don't tell Brad.
I mean, he's not going to know it all because
I know, right?
It's not on the internet.
The secret is safe with us. You're only on the
So
internet.
here's Locker 18, nice and autographed. This bottle I'll probably never open unless I get desperate. But no, so yeah. So
your kid gets older and they're like, "Oh, look, Dad's got some bourbon."
Well, you want to actually hear something funny? So in my closet, I'm not going to bust it out because I'll be kind of embarrassed. But when Natural Light, I used to work for Anheuser-Busch for a distributor, and when they came out that 77 pack, we didn't get it in Baltimore because we couldn't, and they only had it in College Park. A friend of mine drove to College Park and actually got me one. Obviously, I drank all the beer out of it, but I still have the actual case it came in. I'll probably never get rid of it. But just things like that. Because I figured if I left the beer in there, it would have been a waste of money. And I probably would have gotten sick.
Plus, it's Natural Light, so it's not like it's going to be good.
It's not good when it comes off the chain, right? It's like, I love that.
Right, so anyway, like, keeping it hanging around is going to make it that much worse.
I know, right? It doesn't get better with age. So now we use Sagamore. So Brad's got a good relation with them. And it's Maryland bourbon. We buy it from them and then we blend it. I mean, I first saw, because I didn't know a ton about bourbon when I first started. We cultivate. The hardest part, in my opinion, is when you blend the barrel, because every barrel will taste different.
Right, yeah, because it depends on where it is in the house.
Exactly.
In char level.
Yeah, exactly. There could have been where the tree came from for the staves, where the humidity in the certain parts of the house. It's so many different things. Like we had when we dumped our last small batch, we did 4 barrels. 3 of the barrels were about 40, 42 gallons. One was 33 gallons. So it's kind of like,
wow.
where did it go? Yeah, and like it wasn't leaking when we got it. It's just crazy how temperature, sunlight, it's
evaporation.
I mean, Ty's tried a couple different barrels, and we always have a couple barrels open at all times. And like we did a barrel pick for a restaurant group a few months ago, and we let them try. I think it was 3 barrels, and they had one or 4 barrels. They had one picked. They were like, "This is the one we want." And then Brad was like, "Hey, we're gonna pop one more open." We ended up taking the 5th one because that's the one I like the best because there's just a different flavor profile just by a little bit with every barrel you try.
Mm-hmm.
So then with Brad, with him is what he does is when he blends it, he looks for, I mean, he'll sit down, he'll try all 10, 12 barrels, however many we have, and he'll write notes. And it takes him a couple of hours to kind of figure out what blend he wants to get the right flavor profile. Because you can throw a bunch together. Is it going to taste good? Probably because it's a good bourbon, but you got to find the perfect ones to blend together.
And so you did the same thing with the Locker, right? Basically, you saw the same.
Correct. Yep. So we let him do a blend
cool.
as well. And then also with Locker, it's not no pun intended. It's not locked in yet. I think we're gonna do maybe in the springtime a special rum for him. Maybe source some local fruits or something, and Brad maybe some local fruits or local honey. Just because we really liked the turnout we had, and it was just great seeing a lot of new faces and a lot of people throwing money around.
Yeah, that'll bring a lot of people that probably aren't even familiar with you guys. You probably got some, like, Ty probably got a little bit of bleed over from that event too, I would guess.
He was before.
Right, but like, I mean, all these events they probably go over to Hysteria for a beer or two.
The thing is too, the cool thing, like our outdoor area is like we got really lucky where like the county and the landlord, they let you go get a drink at either location and then sit outside together.
Yeah.
So like you can go get a Hysteria beer and then sit outside and then be like, oh, you know what? While the line's short at Lost Ark, you put your beer down and then go over and get a drink and then come back and sit at the table and have a.
So you guys can do actual mixed drinks at Lost Ark?
Yeah, we have a full bar of our products because since we're a distillery on premise. We distill the products on premise. We can only serve our products. So it'd be really cool to have some Hysteria on draft or some other local brews. We legally can't. So, but yes, we do have a full bar. I know when Brad started a few years ago, Ty could probably know better than I do because I wasn't with them. But he can only do like half-ounce pours and sell bottles, and that's it. And now we had full tastings, we have tours, we have. I mean, if you go on our website, our bartender, our head bartender does, Joe, is phenomenal what he can do with drinks. I'll be in the market, and I bartended at Green Turtle for a couple years. I knew how to pour beer and make pink drinks. I mean, if basically the best advice,
Cape Codders.
Exactly. If someone's like, I want a Cosmopolitan, you're getting some grenadine, some vodka, shake it over ice. I don't know. But he does phenomenal. I can ask him if I'm on the market at, I was down at Shoddy's down in Fed Hill, I think it was last week, and they bought some products and said, hey, can you help us out maybe with our menu and get a drink? I sent them what they ordered. I said, let's make it simple, fast as the bartender can get it out. Boom. A couple hours later, he had a drink, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Well, you guys have a tasting coming up with us, I think, next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's next Wednesday, the 16th, I believe.
Yeah, so there's actually, you guys are going to be in-house next week. Ty's not going to be there unless he wants to come.
I mean, he can stop.
He's always
by
welcome.
I can come drink with you guys.
You can come and drink. Ty's going to be represented this weekend because we're doing our collaboration celebration this weekend. So we're going to have Hysteria beers. We're going to be tasting the collaboration we did last February, the Bunt Cake collaboration.
Which is gone very well.
What was the new? Oh, we're tasting the new lager, the Doppelbock.
You got Doppel?
Yeah, we're doing that. Took the Dunkel, and we're doing one other one. The one we got last week, the S'mores beer.
Oh, yeah, the S'mores. It literally tastes like Oreos. It's a S'mores with
phenomenal.
Oreos.
Yeah.
Are you
those are all going to be sampled on Saturday from 2 to 5. So Ty's not going to be there, but John Ward, he says he needs a shirt. By the way, while we're chatting, He needs to be hooked up with a shirt, and he says it has to be 3X.
I actually have a 3X bash paper shirt I can get him.
Hey, Ty, why don't you tell him what's sitting in the back of your brewery right now that I had to repair a few weeks ago?
What?
Laying sideways behind the barrels.
Oh, what? The other barrel?
The other barrel. Yeah.
We have so many. I mean, we did the what's the that was a double.
I think it's a doppel.
Is it a doppel in there? Maybe it is a doppel. Or it's a doppel because we also have the quad that's coming out. The doppelbock we have inside of. So they aged. You aged bourbon inside of a maple syrup barrel.
That was so. It was originally a bourbon barrel. Maple syrup company bought the barrel from them, aged maple syrup in it for a year. We bought it from the maple syrup company and aged bourbon in it for another year. So we put a 4-year bourbon in a maple syrup barrel that was a bourbon barrel and aged it for a year. And then
we took it.
And then Hysteria took it. Now they have I think a doppelbock in there
inside of there.
It's gonna be what 4 more months.
Yeah.
It's probably phenomenal. I mean, the maple syrup bourbon we only had, I think it yielded like 200 bottles, sold out like that. It was super dark.
Yeah, dude, when you go to Vermont, there's all kinds of barrel-aged maple syrup up there. It's crazy.
It's
really good. Like
the whole barrel age program with us, like we have 2 Jamaican rum casks that have been, I want to say, a year and a half now. We're going to dump one probably in end of January, February. And again, it's going to be distillery only. I could probably get my good buddy Rob over there at Whitey's a case for him to do what he wants with. But yeah, I mean, it's really a lot of cool stuff. Instagram,
the barrel
Facebook.
Probably come to us.
Yeah. Probably we'll send the barrel over right next door. And then they'll do something really cool with it. It's kind of like, share with your neighbors.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and it's funny too, because like we're talking about, like once we empty some of these beers, we're going to give it back to Lost Ark, and then they're going to age another spirit in that too.
Yeah. We'll probably do rum.
See how far we can push it. Yeah.
Yeah. See how much it'll actually
how long a barrel's good though?
As long as
you're going to find out. So
we're gonna find out, but as long as they stay, I feel like as long as they stay wet inside, the moisture, they'll be fine. Because again, a lot of people don't know this. They're not held by anything but just those bands. There's no nails. Right. There's no glue. There's absolutely nothing. When we do our displays, they're made out of like old barrels that we have, and they literally fall apart. It's funny. My dad today, after I saw you guys, I had to stop at my parents' house, and my dad was like, "Hey, can you give me a barrel?" I'm like, "Well, what do you want to do with it?" He's like, "I want to cut it in half and make a flower pot out of it." I'm like, I have a feeling as soon as you cut it in half, it's going to fall apart. But then 20 minutes later, he sends me a YouTube video. He's like, "Here, this is how you do it. I expect it for your mother for Mother's Day." I'm like, "All right, cool. I guess I had to figure that out."
Yeah, you're going to have to do that.
Got to do it for mom,
For sure. Yeah. All right, so the tasting next week, we're going to have a recipe cards made. So we have a bunch of different. I was supposed to do the Mexican hot chocolate tonight, but I got lazy, so I just did the brownie hot chocolate, which is basically hot chocolate dumping a bunch of the brownie liqueur in it, which is delicious, by the way.
Matt, you should just do the mule.
Oh, we can do the mule.
I mean,
the mule.
Every time I go to Lost Ark, he's like, "Mule." I'm like, "Yeah, what a mule."
It's not even on our menu. I mean, it's that behind that story was I was over a family function with my wife's family, and her uncle was all feeling good and buzzed up and kept making me these Kentucky mules, and all it is bourbon, ginger beer, and a little bit of lime juice, and then it stuck. And then Ty started coming over and hanging out, and I was like, "Ty, you want a mule?" And it was all downhill from there.
Was it did you make a Bash Brothers mule?
Oh, we can.
No, we did do a collab cocktail, which was really good. It was
for that day, right?
Yeah.
It was coffee simple syrup, old fashioned, and then it was smoked. And at first, it was smoked with a cigar, but then the whole place started to smell like a cigar. So then we ended up using wood stave, but it was just unbelievable. But the cigar one was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was really good. It would have made the whole place. So we actually used one of the staves from one of the barrels that was in the blend. So it was actually pretty to to smoke it. So we called it a smoked old fashioned.
Right.
Did very well.
How do you do that?
How do you smoke it?
Yeah.
So basically all you do is you
Flame.
take a torch and you'll heat up the stave and then put the cup over top of it and it'll just smoke inside the cup and you fill it up with the spirits.
I think, did you guys post that on Instagram? I feel like I might have seen that.
Yeah,
we posted that one, I think, too.
Probably. Yeah, it's we smoke. I mean, we can smoke all of our drinks, but we use I think it's called a smoke top or something. So with that,
it's usually use.
You put it on top of the cup, and there's like a little tray. Kind of looks like a device for smoking tobacco. And you just light it. You light it, and you can see the smoke filling up the cup. It's actually really cool. And we have cherry wood, apple wood, cinnamon. And then we can smoke one. We can get smoke from one of our staves too, which is actually pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that actually is pretty cool. I've never actually heard of that.
Yeah, it definitely adds a lot of flavor to the drink. Again, it's our guy Joe that does all of our drinks. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Now I do remember seeing that.
It's so good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It was cool, and that was Joe. Again, he does great. Makes some really cool drinks. It can be easy or as complicated as you want it to be. Yeah, he is.
You were saying that one time. You're like, God, these drinks are so good, but man, they are complicated to make. And he comes up with them like that. He's just like, yeah, I'll just do this. You're like, what the
for the Bachelor's collaboration. When I was behind the bar. Again, they're like, this goes in, this goes in. I'm like, okay, we're going to put a little bit of this, we're going to put a little bit of this, and then we're going to call it a day. No one can play.
Matt's over here putting 7-Up in the bourbon. He's like, here you go.
Oh, dude,
here's your drink.
No one can play. Crazy in the best way.
He's like, this is your drink. He's like, he's got the college dorm level bartending skills.
That's all I needed when I was working
That's all I got, too.
That's all I got, too. The only thing you have to remember about mixing drinks is you put the cheapest ingredients in first.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to remember. And that way, if it sucks, you didn't really, you know what I mean? You didn't really burn up too much. So, cool. All right, gentlemen. All right, so next week, Lost Ark is going to be in the house. Hysteria is in the house this week at Whitey's, 2 to 5 on Saturday. Lost Ark is 5 to 7, I think, next Wednesday.
Yeah, 5 to 7 next Thursday.
Thursday or Wednesday? Thursday. I can't remember.
Thursday.
It's Thursday. It's the 17th. What's the 17th?
No,
I have 7 calendars and I fuck up dates all the time. Oh, pardon me.
It's the
17th is a Friday.
Next Thursday.
All right, next Thursday. We'll have recipe cards. Stuff will be on sale. It's 10% off all month on all the Lost Ark stuff. We'll have this delicious brownie. And we'll have the caramel cream. We'll have all the rums and maybe some of the bourbon. And so everybody can come out and check that out. Go to Lost Ark this weekend for their 5th anniversary party. What's this? 10 to 12?
It's 12 to 10. Yeah. So we're open Thursdays and Fridays 4 to 10. Every Thursday night we do trivia. It's been huge. We weren't open from Thursdays. I think we just started that probably a few months ago. And Thursdays have actually been killing it for us, especially with trivia. Fridays are 4 to 10, and Saturdays 12 to 10. I think live music. We're gonna have 2 bands coming in Saturday. We have a girl who does kind of our marketing. She's got a lot of really cool ideas for games and giveaways and stuff.
Nice.
It's kind of just be a fun time. And I was actually talking to Joe today. He's doing some birthday cake concoction with crumbled funfetti. It's probably phenomenal. I will not be there, unfortunately. I'll be away, but yeah, I know, Ty. It's I don't know. What time you going in early tomorrow? Maybe we can make one.
I mean, I can be there tomorrow at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out early tomorrow.
He's like, I can be there. Trust me, I can be there. And then if you get sick of that, you just go over to Hysteria and have a couple beers to sort of level out your day. Don't forget about Hysteria.
No, absolutely.
We also have the barbecue place.
Bullhead. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Bullhead is in the middle. So you can spend the whole day there.
So it's cool. Like if you go with a couple buddies and some of your buddies don't like spirits, drink some beers or vice versa. We got food. I don't know if it's actually gonna happen, but I think in February we're gonna do a Pinewood Derby. We did one a few months ago, but it wasn't a really big turnout. It was crappy weather. But we're gonna bring it back. I gotta get a hold of the guy. Pinewood Derby. boozy Pinewood Derby. It'll be awesome. So I'll keep you posted on that too, Rob. Maybe Whitey's can enter a car into it.
That's pretty badass because you can make it a really long track and start it at like once like in Hysteria and go through the. Isn't there a door still between you guys?
No, there wasn't.
It was a hole. It's a hole.
There's a hole in the wall. No, we'll have to run it probably from the back of our stills. Basically, it'll end where our tables start. So
Nice.
Pretty long though.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
So.
That's a good idea. Cool. All right, gentlemen. I know you guys got things to do, people to see, and as do I. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Follow the Bash Brothers Collective on Instagram. Follow Hysteria on Instagram. Follow Lost Ark on Instagram. You see Joe making those drinks. Wonderful. And we'll see you guys all. We see each other often enough, so we'll see everybody around. So come on by and sample some beers this week. Go on over there. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Try some of that. Search out the Bash Brothers wing sauce. Stay tuned for whatever insane. You guys probably have like a race car or something.
We should
or a motocross or a motocross bike or something.
I'm down to all this stuff.
And you could have like Josh be the driver. The Bash Brothers Collective.
He scares me, so I'm not going to go on that. But
he's at the damn gym all the time. Just he's going to the exercise bike. So like, have him start a racing team. Make Bash Brothers bicycle. Those bike jerseys.
We should do that.
You should do that.
Why not?
Actually,
yeah, I'm gonna get out.
Those would be really good. They're not great on fatties like me.
No,
but if you like,
if I turn one on.
Yeah, right. You look like a freaking sausage in a case.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do it now, just that,
But Josh is losing a lot of weight, so he'd be perfect.
He lost like 40 pounds.
Yeah,
wow,
it looks great.
Crazy. Yeah, he looks really good. I'm like, geez, dude. If only I, had motivation, I could be there too. But
yeah, it's hunting season for you, so you gotta go.
I am out in the woods as much as I possibly can.
Are you gonna make Bash Brothers deer jerky?
Yeah, at some point we actually have that, but we do have an outdoor line already.
See that, everybody?
Check out that.
What is that? BashBrothers.com. His store.
BashBrothersCollective.com. Yeah, we have all kinds of crap now. Like the beer season. Matt has a beer season hat. I've been shipping beer season shirts all like I just shipped a couple to Massachusetts yesterday.
Well, what's her name? The chick was wearing it. Craft beer.
Yep.
She's into
she wears a lot of it. Yeah. She loves that stuff. We have a lot of those influencers are working really well with us. They they hit us up all the time. I send them stuff all the time. Like it's fun. She ended up loving the shirt so much that her husband was jealous. So I sent him a black version of it, and immediately she started posting about that. I was like, all right, I'll send you a shirt. Sure. So
nice. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it works.
All right. Very cool. All right. Follow Lost Ark on the Instagram, Bash Brothers Collective on Instagram, Siri on Instagram, all the platforms. All right, boys. Good to see you.
All right, guys.
It's a pleasure.
Talk
Have a
soon.
great night.
Be safe, you guys, too. All right. Very cool. So next week, Saturday, we have Hysteria in the house, along with Firm, True Respite, and possibly Monument. I'm not sure if the Monument guys are coming. We just did their release last week. And then on Thursday, we will be back with Lost Ark to sample. This stuff is killer, by the way. Like this is what you're drinking on Christmas morning right there. That stuff in coffee, it's the bomb. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I'll catch everybody soon. I think next week we have Kate from the new brewery Pickett's Brewing in Baltimore. She's going to be joining us on Tuesday night. And thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you guys soon.